Whoa, whoa. And. We're down. We're down. It clicked. Hello guys and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program episode 8. I'm Neo and let's get right to it. Today we're gonna land on Minmus, but we're gonna do it a little bit differently. We're gonna do the whole thing from inside the cockpit, so IVA. This is my little cockpit that we've got here. We've got all our controls that we need. We've got the normal controls in the IVA that shows us our nav ball, our altitude, our surface speed, and our SAS activated and deactivated. There you have it. And I've also got the delta V stats, and they're the throttle, delta V stats, orbit info, and surface info to help me. Now let's get this thing to orbit. We started the same way we start the normal moon rocket that we had also. We're gonna go up to a 70 by 70 kilometer orbit, and from there on we're gonna plan our mission further. The ascent is pretty basic. We're gonna go straight up until we reach 200 meters per second, as you see here, and then we're gonna start pointing towards 90 degrees, so that's due east, and we're gonna keep our orbit info in view. Our apoapse, as it's rising, we're gonna tip even further, and we now just ditched the two outside boosters. Now we're on the inside booster that's got a little less delta V, but it still accelerates us and nicely gets us into a good orbit of 70 by 70 kilometers. In this mission I'm not allowed to use any external views except for the map view to plan my maneuvers. And there you have it. By turning around a little bit you can see Kerbin down there where we're getting. But because I needed to keep an eye on the nav ball, I had to get back to this view. And our apoapse is rising good. We're nearly out of fuel in this ascent stage and are trying to get us back up into orbit. Again, the ascent stages are reusable, so they're gonna go back down to the planet and we can use them in the next flight. This helped save a lot of time with construction, because this Minmus lander was able to be constructed in under 3 or 4 days, I think. So that will save us a lot of time in the future if we have to build vehicles quickly for some reason. There we have it. The apoapse is above 70, and now we just need to circularize our orbit, and then we can plant our travel to Minmus. And periapse is rising again. We're nearly in the positive views. Just adjusted my cockpit here a little bit. And there we have it. We're in orbit. We did it. Now you can see the planet down below here a little bit, and we're gonna go to the map view now and plan our first maneuver. That's the maneuver that's gonna get our inclination to the same inclination as Minmus. For that I've targeted Minmus and now just did a nominal maneuver to get my ascending node to within 0.1 degrees. And then due to Kerbal alarm clock I could see when the maneuvers do. And now I can do the maneuver. The problem here is I have absolutely no idea how much delta V is left for the maneuver, so I have to eyeball this. I picked up the exact amount that was necessary from the precise node, and then just burned away this much delta V from the delta V status. So that worked fine. And then I made my second maneuver node that would get me to Minmus. I mucked around a little bit to get a nice maneuver with 916 meters of delta V that would burn all of the fuel in our transfer stage and a little bit of fuel in the other stage. But it's fine because due to the very low gravity of Minmus, We don't need much delta V for landing there, so we should have enough left to land and get back home. And there we have it. We're now executing the maneuver again in 4 times normal speed or 4 times time acceleration, because you don't need to sit through all of this. As you can see, this took quite a while, and I zoomed in on the nav pole to get it as close as possible. And here I didn't check the delta V, but I was just gonna burn until the maneuver marker would switch sides, so I would know I would be at exactly 0. Once it starts wobbling, the marker, I would burn very slowly here, and as you can see, there it changed, and now we have it. And there's Minmus once we time accelerated towards it, and it's getting big in our little window on the capsule here. I hope in the future I can make a few more of these IVA trips, but with a little bit of better capsules, or at least capsules with a lot more view. And now I need to get my periapse down, because the orbit is quite large. So I'm gonna burn retrograde here a little bit. Try to get my periapse down. I'm gonna burn a little bit towards the planet here. That's a radial burn to get the periapse down without losing any orbital speed. I did this to get my periapse as close to Minmus as possible. As you can see here, we kind of get the periapse down below 100 kilometers and all the way to about 50 kilometers. And then I waited until I reached periapse. Here you can see another nice shot of Minmus as we're time accelerating towards it, as it's getting bigger and bigger and filling out the whole viewport of this capsule. And once we're at periapse, we are gonna need to burn directly retrograde to also get the apoapse down, and then try to find the landing spot. There we have it. We're gonna burn retrograde now to get our apoapse down. This is gonna decelerate us, and we'll get our apoapse also to about 50 kilometers or so. And then we can go to the map view again and search for a good maneuver that gets us down to the surface of the planet. There I'm burning again after time accelerating towards periapse. And there we have it. Our apoapse is also down to about 50 kilometers. Now for the maneuver, I'm in a bad place here, so I tried to burn to get myself into an equatorial orbit and adjust my maneuver node here a little bit to get the orbit just right, so I could then in the next orbit around the planet get myself lined up to land in one of the flat areas, so I wouldn't have to land on a mountaintop or something on Minmus. I would rather land down in some of these low areas that are near the ground of Minmus. So I then execute this maneuver like the last time, just eyeballing how much delta V I need until the marker changes place. That should be it. This is a very quick burn here. We can get this done very quickly, but I used very little thrust as to not overshoot my maneuver, so it also took a few seconds. They really should add some sort of maneuver timer into the IVA of the cockpit, I believe, but never mind, it worked out. And there we have it. And with the next maneuver I set up, I would get down to the planet. There we have it. And we need to adjust this maneuver to not land on a mountain, but rather land on the surface down between those mountains there on the planet. So let's go retrograde a little bit to get our encounter just right. There we have it. That looks good. It's gonna go a little bit more to the planet as we approach. And again, we're gonna do this maneuver. Takes a little bit of time, but once we did this maneuver, we will have an encounter with the surface of Minmus, and after that everything will be from inside the ship until we reach ground or we die. And there you can see I get closer and closer to the planet. I wanted to, a little bit to show the planet and the viewport on top, so I decided this would be a nice way to see how big the planet is now that we're so close in relation to just a few minutes earlier when we're just coming into its orbit. Now a small part of the planet fills up the whole viewport, and that's our landing area down there. I again tried to null out my surface horizontal speed to a few meters or millimeters per second, but tried to keep my vertical speed up. I'm at an altitude of 2 kilometers here, as you can see, and still burning a little bit to get the horizontal speed under control to keep it below 300 millimeters per second. I zoomed into the nav ball here to get a closer and more precise look on it. And once we are nearly at the bottom, I'm gonna get back to 1x speed and we're gonna hear my live commentary as I try to perform this landing. So here we go. 300 meters and burn. There we go. 200 meters. And at 8 meters per second. 7 meters per second. Altitude 140 meters up. Cut the engines a little bit more to get... Okay, burn 5 meters. 5 meters per second. This is gonna be epic if it works. Come on, 70 meters up. Cut it again, and at 6 meters start again. I'm just cutting and restarting here because I haven't got enough fine tuning over my engines. Whoa, whoa, and we're down. We're down. It clicked. What the hell? No. We're falling. Somehow we're falling. Okay, there we go. My stability control is working. It's getting us upright again. Let's get us upright to a nice pitch. Come on, keep it that way. Why the hell wouldn't you keep it that way? What's going on? I'm too scared to look outside. Okay, it's keeping us. Okay, and we can take our first look outside now, because we've landed. There we are. We're at a slight slope. That's why we nearly tipped over. But we're standing on Minmus. We did it. A full IVA journey from Kerbin Space Center to the second moon in the Kerbin system, to Minmus. And that's it for this episode. I hope you liked it, and I hope I see you guys next time. And as this episode is recorded and put online on the 12th of April, happy First Man in Space Day. Until next time. Thanks for watching this episode of Kerbal Space Program. If you liked it, be sure to leave a comment or click that like button. And if you never want to miss an episode again, be sure to subscribe. I hope I see you guys next time.